awakes 20 years later, and he's older now, and everyone's older, and King Lane is the king, and his friend Lothar is the commander of the Alliance army, and you know they're all happy that he's awake and everything. And Agwyn kind of notices something a little weird about him. Agwyn sees him kind of weird. He's kind of off. And this is when it happens, basically. Unbeknownst to anyone at the time, Medivh / Sargeras inside of him contacts Gul'dan, who is living in Outland. If you've seen my other one-on-ones, Gul'dan is kind of controlling. He just murdered all these Draenei and stuff, and Outland is like a barren place, Draenor where they're from, and tells them about opening this dark portal. And you can come to Azeroth, and there's lots of people to pillage here and land to live off of. Please come here. He contacts Gul'dan, and Gul'dan's like, oh yeah, I want to go there. Like all my people can live there, and you know, evil power and whatnot. And Medivh's mega powerful, and Gul'dan just looking out for himself basically. Can come to Azeroth and take over everything. So he makes this dark portal, this whole pact with Gul'dan, and builds this whole dark portal for them all to come through. Agwyn realizes this and tries to tell Medivh, like, what the hell are you doing? No, what's going on? You can't do this. This is bad. You can't bring the orcs here. You can't bring demons here. You can't bring. It's going to be a burning legion. This is what the guardians aren't supposed to do. Medivh's like, blah, fuck you, and they fight. Medivh becomes the victor, and she just doesn't get it. She's like, what's up with this guy? You know, I gave him all these powers to not do this, to be the guardian. And the Magus Medivh reveals everything. Well, Sargeras does through the Magus. Says that when you fought the avatar of Sargeras, I put my spirit into you, and now I'm into your son. And this is what's going on. The Guardian is not a Guardian anymore. He's corrupted by the Demon Lord of the Burning Legion, Sargeras. So, what are you going to do? For whatever reason, Medivh doesn't kill her. But she gets banished, and she tries to tell King Lane what's going on, and King Lane takes us in, and now King Lane and Lothar are kind of weary about Medivh. They don't believe that their best friend as a kid could do this, but they don't really know. And it's at this time that the city of Dalaran sends a apprentice to Medivh, because Medivh is like the most powerful age in the world, and Dalaran being the city of mages, the college of mages, you know, the city of Dalaran is like where all the mages hang out, the high mages in the world. They send this apprentice to Medivh to go and, you know, study under him, and his name's Khadgar, which means trust in some old Dwarven language. And he goes, and before he goes, like all these mages in Dalaran are like, oh hey, try to look into his library, get this book if you can. Hey, ask him about this, or blah, blah. They all want information. And he's just like, dude, I'm just trying to learn under this mage. They don't know why they want all this information from him, but it's because he knows so much. He knows beyond any other mage in the world. He just has so much knowledge and so much power. They all want to know where it comes from. They all just want to know about him. So Khadgar goes to Karazhan, which is in Deadwind Pass currently in World of Warcraft, and that's Medivh's tower where they all live. This is pretty much where the last Guardian starts, kind of. Is Khadgar going to Medivh's tower. So that's going to be like the start of the book, basically. And there's a lot of information that covers Medivh's life. So this is going to be the start of the Last Guardian storytelling. So Khadgar gets to Karazhan and goes to meet Medivh. And as he does, he goes into this tower, which is kind of a weird tower, and he meets Morose, who is Medivh's servant. He's one of the only guys that live there. And this guy, Cook, who is their cook. Not this guy, it's a girl. There's the only two people that live there other than Medivh. He's kind of a loner. He kind of stays away from everything. He's a super powerful mage, and everybody wants to know about him, but he kind of secludes himself from society. And he meets Medivh, who, sometimes, he's a super nice guy who, like, he's like, Khadgar, trust. Let's see if I can trust you, my young apprentice. And, because Khadgar means trust in this Dwarven language. Medivh knows that because he has so much knowledge. You know, he's like this kind of jolly, like, oh, let me teach you things. Organize my library for me, and we'll teach you some stuff. And Khadgar's like, oh, cool. But other times he's just this cold kind of, leave me alone right now kind of guy. And Khadgar doesn't really get this. He doesn't understand why. Living with Medivh, he eventually meets Lothar, who's, Medivh's friend from being a kid and now the current commander of the Alliance army. And Lothar's like, oh, hey, Khadgar, how's it going? I hear you're Medivh's new apprentice. That's cool. And Khadgar's like, yeah. I'm learning a lot of stuff from him. He's kind of weird. He's like, how's he doing? And he's like, oh, he's all right. And Lothar's like, no, seriously, like, how's he doing? What does he do? Does he do anything weird? Does he do anything odd? And Khadgar's kind of getting pressure for information again. And he doesn't know if he should just tell Lothar everything. He doesn't know, like, what side Lothar's on. But really, it's just Lothar. He's just concerned because this is his childhood friend, and he's becoming really weird. And he knows a little bit about what Agwin said about him being responsible for bringing orcs. By the way, at this time, orcs are starting to come through the gate. This is the beginning of Warcraft 1. Battles are already starting. Lothar is really busy with this the whole time, like commanding the Alliance army, but comes in and out to be a part of the story and to talk to Khadgar and Medivh. And Lothar comes to Medivh all the time, like, oh yeah, there's a sighting of a demon. And Medivh does what he does. It's like, oh yeah, demon? I'll take care of it. And he goes and kills the demon, brings back the head. He does this periodic throughout the story. He goes away and for a long time comes back to kill demons and stuff. Or to help out, to kill orcs even coming through the gate. Because he's half Medivh, half Sargeras. And when Lothar's like, can you help us kill some orcs coming through the gate? Like help in the aid, help in Warcraft 1 battle. And he'll do it sometimes. And just to prove, just so they don't realize that he's the one that let the orcs in. And he fights demons. So Lothar's just concerned. He keeps asking Khadgar about this stuff. Same thing with King Lane. King Lane and Lothar, they live in Stormwind. And Khadgar travels there from time to time with Medivh. Some of the mages in Stormwind are being killed. And they bring Medivh to investigate. Medivh finds out it's demons killing him. So Medivh goes to hunt down the demons, supposedly. He just goes away and comes back with like a demon head, or he goes away and comes back with the story about, oh yeah, I killed a couple demons. And Lothar's like, yeah, cool. And Khadgar's like, oh man, that's crazy. You did all that by yourself? And he's like, yeah, I'm pretty tired. I'm going to go back to the tower, rest for a few days. Can you take care of shit around the tower, Khadgar? Yeah, I can do that, I guess. So this happens like for a long time, months probably. Khadgar is taking care of things while Medivh goes and fights these demons. Supposedly he comes back, which sometimes he does because he even has a head of a demon to prove it. And Lothar and King Lane are just like, what's going on with Medivh? Like, he just goes, fights demons, and then rests for days at a time. You never really know what's going on. Khadgar's the same way. And Lothar and Lane keep asking Khadgar, what's going on with Medivh now? And he doesn't want to divulge too much information because Medivh's like his good friend now, his teacher. He doesn't know who to trust, if he should tell them about this. Medivh eventually is called to the Black Morasses, which is like the Dustwall of Marsh or somewhere, where the Tainted Scar, is that what it's called? No. I don't know. Wherever the Black Gate is currently in World of Warcraft, it's over by Dustwall of Marsh somewhere. Called to Black Gate to fight at one point, and they're flying on griffins. They all each have their own griffin, Khadgar and Medivh. And Khadgar's griffin gets shot down by orcs, because Warcraft 1 is happening, and they kind of enter a battle. And for the first time, Khadgar lands there, and he's like, and his griffin's shot down, and there's orcs around him. He's like, shit. But Khadgar's a pretty badass mage and fires off some magic. And then Medivh shows up, and one of the orcs recognizes him as like the guy who helped them open the gate to come through. And he's like, hey, I think I know. And then like bursts into flames. And Khadgar saw this and he was like, what was that about? They seem to have recognized Medivh. And Medivh was like, I have no fucking clue. But, they're all dead now, let's go. So, that was one of their encounters with orcs. And another thing that kind of was like, Khadgar was weird about.